Too many people in this world just don't think of us little short people. I mean, come on. So welcome, and thank you everybody for coming. I'm Lee Price. I'm the Executive Director of the Jefferson Chamber of Commerce, and we're very pleased to be part of bringing the Harry Potter Festival USA to Jefferson. As you know, the city and the Chamber of Commerce, people from the police department, Cindy Keller's department, Bill Pino's department, streets, the mayor, the city administrator, we've all been meeting with the Kramer brothers here since December to help get this event to come to Jefferson. So we're very pleased that we did make the final decision. And so we're looking forward to all the great things that are going to be happening with the festival. So tonight what we'd like to do is Rob Kramer and Scott Kramer are going to give you a presentation and talk a bit about what Harry Potter Festival is. One of the objectives for tonight is to help nonprofit groups and local businesses that want to get involved with the festival determine what you can and cannot do in terms of trademarks and certain little legal things involving with the franchise. So if you have questions, fire them up. If your questions do not get answered tonight, they handed out cards that you can write your question down and put it in the cauldron. And this is just the first meeting, so there's going to be a lot of questions, and not everything's finite at this point, but we wanted to get everybody together as early as possible to get everybody fired up and ready to go. So with that, Rob and Scott.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. One more thing. If someone from your group, business, or organization has not signed in on the clipboards, would you please do that, because we're going to develop a database for staying in touch and sharing information. Okay.
Thank you, Katie. Welcome. So welcome everybody. We thought, Rob and I both thought that with the nice weather, half you guys wouldn't be here. It's barbecue night, really, for this weekend. So Harry Potter Festival. We're backwards. Actually, he's Rob, I'm Scott. That's the idea. We're here to. There's an unlimited amount of questions, and there's a limited amount of interpretation of the rules from Warner Brothers, and that's why we're here. We get questions still from universities, from communities. What are the rules? And we have the rules, and I don't know why they don't get them, because if they're there, it's just a matter of getting them.
Can you up the sound a little bit?
Follow the rules. I'm going to raise this back up for tall people, or at least average height people. Okay, apologize. So, some basic ground rules. We really are here tonight for the businesses. So we don't want any questions at all from the press. It really is, it's about you guys. How can you participate if you want to participate? How can you succeed and not get any legal issues? I just read about an organization that is tied in with Star Wars and had a multi-million-dollar lawsuit filed by Lucasfilms. They declared bankruptcy. I'd rather not do that. So we're trying to avoid that. So stuff like that does happen. Let's see, okay, we want to keep the questions short, concise. Don't be afraid, we really have an open door policy, we really do. Whether it's a card, a phone call, an email, reach out to us. We're more than happy to do that. Let's see, I can't read that. Well, general questions. Make sure if you ask a question publicly, it's a general question that might apply to other people. Let's see, that was already addressed. Yeah, I think that's pretty much that. Okay, so these are some of the venues that are going to be occurring for the festival this year. We've added a couple of nifty things, like Wizards Chess. Are there any chess players in the room? Okay, there you go. And actually, the professor at the back of the room is actually the facilitator for the live chess games. God bless Brian, I'll tell you. Because we started with nothing more than a topiary chess set, and then the whole concept of live people as chess pieces, that would be amazing. And that's really a lot of how a lot of these venues occur. People approach us with an idea, we go, we can make that happen. The same thing like a relating display. This couple just outside of Milwaukee came to me last year and said, hey, we travel on weekends displaying our Lego display. By the way, if you have a Harry Potter Lego set of any kind, it's a collectible because they had a divorce. And Lego and Harry Potter no longer see eye to eye. There you go. Yeah, and their set's amazing. It's amazing to see what they put together, and they travel with it. So anyway, this year so far, these are some of the venues we'll be having. They'll be throughout and around town. And we just want to touch base on that idea, even though we're here tonight to talk about the business community. First thing you don't want to do not rename your store. I would use the example that the attorney from Warner Brothers used, not to pick on anybody, but I thought that's a really good example. So you have a wonderful bakery here in town celebrating 100 years. Don't rename it Dumbledore's Bakery, she says. That's the attorney. By the way, I might add, she is from Edgerton, Wisconsin, which blew my mind. It's like, really? She would have been third generation. She lives in California now, but third generation. She goes, what the heck are you guys doing out there? Anyhow, so she understands the whole makeup of festivals, but that's the worst thing you can possibly do. As a profitable or for-profit business is rename your business. So keep it like it is. Don't rename it. That would be a no-no, a big no-no. Let's see here. The world's a big place. It's smaller because of social media. And Warner Brothers, with their legal team, they scan social media. We're getting more and more. I don't know how the heck this came up around, but now we're the aficionados in Harry Potter, and people are emailing us their website saying, "Is this legal? Is it?" We don't work for Warner Brothers, and we're not an attorney, and we don't practice law, but we understand the rules. It's okay to say that you are selling. You can post it on Facebook or your website. We are selling wands at the Harry Potter Festival. That's okay. What you can't say is that you're selling Harry Potter wands at the festival, because Harry Potter wands are their royalties being paid, and it's got its licensing and all that stuff. So watch, it's all in the verbiage. Just be careful with that. The question at the bottom, that's the key thing. Anything you want to apply or ask, always ask yourself, did Warner Brothers receive a royalty? The way this works, Warner Brothers owns the rights from J.K. Rowling. They own the images, the music, the character names, all the names. And it's the movie, or Universal, that makes the theater, or the production, as well as the theme park. So everything, I mean, really, Warner Brothers owns it, period, plain and simple. So if they didn't make any money on it, that's probably not right. Look at it that way. Easy way to get people to come into your store really is encourage your staff to dress up and put signs in your windows. Or we have a couple signs out here, simple enough, keep it simple. Welcome. We have a couple images on the TV that Quick Trip did last year, welcoming people from the fest to your store. It's amazing what that does for your business. Decorating is big. Something as simple as cutting up footsteps, putting it on the floor. For those of you who aren't familiar with Harry Potter, and I imagine there's probably quite a few of you. In fact, how many here are really familiar with Harry Potter? Yay! But there are still some who don't raise their hands, and I get that. But it's easy to string up flying letters addressed to Mr. Harry Potter and have them flying in the air. Easy to do.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
My name's Dan Arm, I'm a syndicated national artist. So I paint a lot of the windows in town. I need to know what I can or cannot paint on the windows, because there's lots of people in this room that have their windows painted. So I have to know legally what I can and cannot do, and also, can we do caricatures? Can we do airbrush t-shirts? Can we do wood figurines? That's what I need to know what I can and cannot do.
Sweet. In your case, I'd like to get together with you on a one-on-one, and let's address each one of those. We're bringing a sculptor to town to do some iron sculptures, and who is a Potter freak, and having a costume made to be Hagrid, perfect Hagrid. And we talked about exactly what you're talking about. What can you do and what you can't do. And there is some liberty there because you're being creative. But yeah, great. Neat guy.
Can you please post the answers though on a website or Facebook page so we can all?
Yeah, we'll keep Lee posted. Are most of us chamber members or not necessarily? Yeah? Anybody here not a chamber member? Well, you may want to join the chamber, just saying. I get you. Lee, are you able to post a lot of this stuff on the website?
Yeah, and we do have a social media page on the chamber site about the festival, so you can always post questions there, and then my fantastic interns will get right back to you.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Questions will keep coming up until the day of the festival, trust me.
Let me address this, because it sounds like that's gonna hit a bunch of people, is that you can paint, paint images from the Harry Potter story. You cannot say this is Harry Potter. You cannot say that this is for-profit businesses. You cannot, I'll use Bonton, I'm sorry. Those cookies in the back, they're awesome. Those eyeglasses, the glasses. Those are Harry Potter inspired glasses. They might, or cookies. They could be Harry Potter festival cookies, but they're not Harry Potter glasses cookies. Or Harry Potter cookies. Do you see the fine line? And we have the rules.
Can you say, like, on Chamber of Commerce, or like you say, hey, Harry Potter's coming in October, or whatever.
That's cool.
Can you do that?
What you can't do, somebody would get, almost got in severe trouble last year, because what they did is they transformed their building into Hogsmeade. And it was by far the #1 attraction last year. And that's really how the attorney got involved in our festival, because she was livid about it.
And it was a for-profit business.
Right.
But for a nonprofit organization, that's what we did.
There's different rules for nonprofit and for-profit, exactly.
We gotta make sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
no,
Exactly.
and really, that's why I don't get scared, don't be afraid of the rules, because we already worked past that. We were afraid of the rules also, but we've worked past that. Once you know what the rules are, you know how to play in their sandbox, they're fine with it. Really, this lawyer from Edgerton that is a big shot with Warner Brothers, her stance is, and look at Warner Brothers' side of this, they want festivals. It keeps people inspired about Harry Potter and all the books and all the movies. We're gonna keep buying their socks and their underwear and their books and all that kind of stuff. Go down to Orlando to their theme park. They just want to keep us in line. They want to be separate entities. They're not saying we're part of each other, but they love the festivals. They love the way these festivals can raise monies for nonprofits. They love also the way it inspires fans to go out and buy more of the products. But there's that line we cannot cross. And really, it's sometimes that simple. Those are not Harry Potter glasses cookies. Those are Harry Potter festival cookies, or they're inspired by Harry Potter. It's gray.
Well, you know,
A lot of gray.
And unfortunately, it is. That's the legal world, not being a lawyer. When in doubt, post a picture. We're selling these at the Harry Potter Festival. Then you're clean. There's nothing, you're not identifying the product per se. But again, we're more than happy to meet with one-on-one, because I know how, really, he and I were like, oh my God, an attorney from Warner Brothers? And she's not like just an attorney. She's the top attorney in
Senior.
for all that stuff. So it was kind of like, now it's okay because we're on a, you know.
But she's great. She really is good. She's easy to work with.
Well,
Right.
you know what, and, you know, I don't think with Derby, but I had a store in 1988, Airbrush T-shirt shop. It was in Villa Park, Illinois.
We're from Villa Park.
I was in Lombard in 88, 84.
My first girlfriend was from Lombard.
Hey guys, anyways, my name's Dan Ehrman. I live in Jefferson, Wisconsin. Thank you for showing up. Anyways, I just want to give a little plug here. I had a shop at North Park Mall over there at North Avenue, and I had an airbrush t-shirt shop. And long story short, I was airbrushing t-shirts and everything. And that's when they had the silk screen shirts where you just order it online. It was a company called Impressions, so I just ordered some Mickey Mouse shirts. So it cost me, whatever, $15 a shirt I charged. Well, I got fined $1,000. I had to go to court because it was copyright infringement. That's one of the reasons why I'm here now. And I said, hey, by the way, I bought this from the book. They didn't care. I said, well, how did you find out? I'm thinking of Walt Disney World, Orlando, or California, and all that stuff. But you know what it turned out to be? There was a company out in Oak Grove Village. They went to all the flea markets. They went to all this people that were at bootleg and everything. And you know what? I still got a $1,000 fine, and that was incredible because I sold 5 shirts. I made $55. It cost me $1,000, and they gave me a warning. I'm like, okay, done. But anyways, just to get you know, that's why I came here today, because I want to know the copyright infringements. These gentlemen are very cool. I just met them, and I just want to know what you can and cannot do, so legally we can all benefit from this for a community, where we can do it legally, and especially me, because I'm not going to reproduce anything. And by the way, I like that guy in the blue shirt. Okay.
No, and I'll tell you what, that's really how that's kind of how we play is the attorney from Warner Brothers is roaming around the fest, and that's kind of how you have to play. You have to play by their rules, and we can play by the rules and still have a good time. So,
Yeah, because for instance, like the example, I went to Scars last year with the festival on there, and I dealt with several outfits. I said it has to be licensed because I don't want to have to deal with that nonsense. So it's the same, in this case, the same company that produces stuff for Walmart. Like, okay, I'm good with that, fine. But we are hypersensitive to that whole thing because lawyers scare the heck out of me. I'm sorry, it's just, they do. But you don't, it's another way to think about this too, guys. Mom and pop making all these wonderful things, blah, 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 blah. And then comes a controversy of China. And that's where we get this great conversation about, well, are we any better than China? You know? Yeah, we are, as long as we don't call it a Harry Potter or whatever. It's an item that we are selling at the Harry Potter Festival. It's all verbiage, but that's what it boils down to. Great. Right, let's move on, otherwise you guys will never go home. Yeah, lots of ways to decorate. And again, if you want to meet with us or have us meet at your store and talk about that, again, probably last year, the store single-handedly that jumped up and did a great job was Quick Trip, a gas station, which is highly affiliated with Harry Potter. And they did an amazing job. They got all kinds of social media play afterwards. Yeah, go ahead.
I also want to point out those words, castles, dragons, trolls, and brooms. Warner Brothers doesn't own those words.
Well, we can laugh, but she got into a serious conversation with me about owls, because last year we had an owl on our poster. It's like, you can't own owls. The Audubon Society in Madison says you can't own owls. So she chuckled, but she was going to push the envelope as much as she could. It's like, okay, I'll be a nice guy. She is a nice lady, but if you choose, it's Halloween time, guys. Also think that in mind. It's the weekend before the weekend of Halloween, so keep that in mind. Just play that up. Okay, so business participation Friday night. We will be having a parade. Sorry.
I'm sorry, I just had a quick question.
Yeah.
For those of us who are not familiar with the Harry Potter characters and all this stuff, you're suggesting to dress the characters, is there some type of a Cliff's Notes booklet that gives us an idea of which character is which? Because I don't want to post the dragon
This
from...
crazy man in the back room, he wants to address that.
I'm putting together a document that I'll put it up on Google Docs, so when you get information about businesses who want that, I can send you a link. I'm going to give you the basics of the Harry Potter universe. I've already actually done that. And then, yeah, I can provide links to other resources.
Brian will send it to me and I'll send it to the bills. But yeah, internet.
Given time, the internet will catch on. If you Google Harry Potter characters, you'd be amazed to see what comes up. Okay. Good question, though. So, Friday night, that's the 20th, I believe. We're going to have a parade. You guys can participate in the parade. We encourage you guys, put together a float, and let's have a nice parade. Hasn't been, I'm sorry, but we made some decisions here, and I hope it's okay. But we really want to help you guys, help you guys be successful. So when we had talked about having Maxwell Street only on Saturday evening, but Rob and I really think it should be both Friday and Saturday. We have people downtown here taking the parade. They're going to be looking for something to do. So why not hang out and visit your shops and spend some money?
Right, I mean, just with the history of it, Saturday is going to be the biggest day. But Friday night with the lighted parade, we're kicking it off Friday night with the lighted parade. There are going to be people downtown. Why not, if your store isn't normally open, why not have it open? Why not dress up? Why not have signs out in front? Why not welcome people? I don't think it's going to hurt. Ma'am?
I have a question about the National Street Days that I'm Sherry Lang represented the Kiwanis Club, and we were thinking about selling a potato bar. And if we do that, and it's a fundraiser for the Kiwanis, do you take a percentage of that, or is 100% ours? Is it all to us?
I'll take it. No, I don't know if I understand the question. No, I don't. All the businesses, we don't get any of your money. We don't. If you want to, sure.
Well, we have a car show
Yeah.
that is run by Gary Essie, and he does that. He takes a percentage from.
We're a little different. Anybody will tell you we're a little different. So when you say potato bar, does that mean like vodka? Just
Yeah.
If
There are going to be about, what, 200 vendor booths? Approximately?
is that what you're talking about, a vendor booth? Okay, yeah, vendor, maybe this, yeah. Vendor spots. There's 4 or 5 key areas where there's gonna be vendor tents that we're still looking for more vendors. If that's what you're talking about, you don't have a brick and mortar building. Those vendor areas cost money. Nonprofits are 75% off, I think. I think it's, yeah, it's like, I think it's $50 for the spot. We don't get any of your profits. We don't get any of that. Yeah.
So I pay a fee for having, I'm a nonprofit, so I pay that fee for having that spot.
You have that spot, and then it's $12.50 to the lovely city of Jefferson.
Permit fees.
Permit fee,
Okay.
but then that's it, and that's good for both Saturday and Sunday in the different areas. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. But yeah, then, it's the fee for the space, and then whatever you make is good for your organization.
Thank you.
We have a question from the site. Vendor booths, vendors will be able to start setting up after 5 p.m. Friday, but we need everyone set up by 8 a.m. Saturday to run 8 to 4 Saturday, 8 to 4 Sunday. Sir.
What's the cost for the vendor booth?
Yeah, I know those answers.
for profit, right?
Well, yeah.
Stop, that's different.
Yeah, wait. Vendor booths are $200, 10 by 10.
However,
If you are a business owner in Jefferson, it is $100. If you are a nonprofit, it's $50.
in other words, if you're on the outskirts of town, but you really want to be more centralized, we're trying to help you move in, maybe take advantage of the traffic.
Okay.
And again, we don't want any beyond that booth fee. We don't want any more money.
Yeah, and the $12.50 for the seller's permit or whatever it is. Yeah, seller's permit, that covers both days. If you end up getting,
$12.50 or $1,250?
Sandy would take it's $12.50. Yeah. Sales of goods in the city right of way is what that permit's for. But that's good for both days. I think that was it, yeah. Sir?
The vendor village is in front of your area, getting ready to rent it as under roof. And that's kind of half of one of those.
Yeah, one more time?
If that vendor area in that alley is right by one of those, are they granted a free vendor fee?
Wow.
I haven't heard that one. This is where, we're still making adjustments, because we didn't have it last year here. We're still making adjustments on vendor areas. So- Yeah, I don't, this is how I want to answer your question. It seems like, and that's going to be Serpent's Alley, commonly known as Nocturne, but Serpent's Alley, that there's going to be tents from the sidewalk on Main Street going back to the end of that building. No, what's the end, what's? No.
We're not,
Walton.
City Center Alley.
the answer is, the tents are not going.
It's not gonna go that far.
Business.
Right, it's not gonna go
And
back.
we can address that.
Yeah. Right, it's not gonna go back that far.
All right, you're
But
right.
with you guys there and Brick House, that's gonna be a very popular alley. Very popular alley. And with the vendors, it's more towards the street, more towards Main Street. But there's bus stops. We have buses carrying people from venue to venue. And there's gonna be people entering Serpent's Alley from Main Street, but also from Center Street as well, so you should do very well with it.
That was good, guys. Bantering.
Next question I got is, we grill out in front of our bakery on Saturday mornings. We do ribs, we do brats, that kind of thing. Are
You
we
would do
gonna,
well.
are we gonna be charged for that?
No.
Okay, that's what I wanna know.
You can pay if you want.
No.
No. I'm hoping a lot of businesses do something outside of their business, if the city allows that. Get to draw people to their business. This really, one of the things that Harry Potter Festival is about, and that's one of the reasons we chose Jefferson, was because of the beauty of the city and what it can offer, your buildings and your parks and whatnot. We want to showcase you guys. That's part of the festival, so that's great. Go out in front of your store, and if the city lets you, and grill something, sell something, show off your merchandise. That's what we want. We want people to come here more often, not just for the festival. We want them to buy a house in Jefferson. We want them to come in and open another business in Jefferson. It's really, let's focus on Jefferson. The festival is here to help highlight your town. It really is.
Will the vendor booths be set up with like running water and stuff for if you want to do food service, or is that something you have to arrange separately?
Running water. There won't, no. They won't, no, there won't be any running.
Buckets. For Board of Health.
For Board of Health, yeah.
Yeah, the health department doesn't care for that.
Yeah, so as much as we want to showcase everything, that Jeff really is a cute community. Jefferson's a wonderful community. We want to showcase it, but we also want to be able to track like the barbecuing or the grilling. That's cool. Just so we have it on a spreadsheet, know that you guys are doing this and someone else is doing that. Because otherwise we end up with 100 people barbecuing or 100 winemakers.
Yeah, 100 people selling the same thing, it's just kind of counterproductive.
So this is what you guys already
We do it on Saturdays anyway.
Yeah, you do it already.
Yeah.
So we want to kind of stifle other people kind of doing that. Because a lot of people come to us, we want to participate, what can we do? But we won't encourage that, if that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah,
They're
it's the
planning
same
to
thing.
get 5 different locations.
You want to do that, bro?
You guys want to explain that? Right. I don't know what part of that I'm addressing. We do have 5 different vendor areas. We are not the vendor areas right downtown. We're not going to put food vendors. Another example about the vendor areas, we might have 10, but I'm not going to have 10 wand makers in a row, or we might have a few at this vendor area, a few over in this vendor area, a few in this area. You know, they're going to be at Tensfield Tensfeld Park, they're gonna be Old Fireman's Alley, Riverside, Rotary Park, and East Elementary, yeah, that's live chess.
Who makes those decisions on which vendors go where? Is that you guys or is that the city?
That's us.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, we're working with them, they really know everything that we're doing. We have a set meeting every 2 weeks, but we're talking to someone, one of the people in the city probably every day.
So what you're saying is we should be kissing your ass before we leave?
Not necessarily.
Oh, I said no, you said not necessarily.
We're brothers, yeah. I'll get to you in 1 second. I just want to clarify that, like, the vendors will not be selling in the evening. They shut down at 4 o'clock every day, Saturday and Sunday. So they are not competing. It's your time to shine, so by all means, shine. And you will have a captive audience. People don't want to go home. Yes, ma'am.
The shuttle from the fairgrounds, and are you gonna have just regular shuttle stops that you drop people off at, or?
Yes, we actually
And
have,
then rotate, or they can get on the shuttle and go somewhere
I
else?
believe we're at three different routes. We already have signs printed. They look like traditional city bus signs, bus stop signs that say A and B, or A, B, and C, whatever.
But all 3 routes will stop downtown.
Right. So yeah, and they're ongoing throughout the festival, except for Friday. Friday is kind of a non-bus day.
Yeah, and the purpose for 3 different routes is we go to St. Coletta, and then VFW, and then the school. So, like the school, Fair Park, and downtown is one area. The Fair Park downtown, Quidditch, or Tensville, is another area. And then C is probably Fair Park downtown and St. Coletta. So, but everyone stops downtown.
Is this going to be a free shuttle, or are they?
You have to have a wristband to be on. It's free if you bought the wristband.
As long as you brought up the wristband, you initiated the conversation, young lady. We are offering early sales of wristbands. So last year we had them at $35, and it was like, we know we can do better. We learned a lot. So ultimately, wristbands will go on sale online as well as here in the community for $25, but we're having early sales of only $10. And you can get them here. Get them here tonight. In the next week or two, you'll be able to get them, I guess, City Hall as well as a chamber office. So we want to offer that to you, to the community, if you will, surrounding area as early as possible. But $10 is what it is for the early sales for wristband. You do need a wristband to get into any of the venues as well as in bus shuttles. Okay.
Yeah, wait. Yeah, venues, specific venues, the bus shuttles, you need a wristband to get on. Your downtown shops, you don't need a wristband. But yeah, to get around those buses you do. And just to reemphasize, Scott, what Scott just said, we brought some pre-sale wristbands. You can get it for $10. The normal prices, we sold them last year for $35, and parents came up to us, do you have a kid's price? I said, oh shoot, we didn't think of that. So we do listen to people. So this year, wristbands, except for the pre-sales, normal prices are gonna be $25 for adults and $15 for kids, 3 to 12. So buy early if you can. Sir, I know you've been up for a while.
I guess I started thinking about this when you mentioned putting things out on the sidewalk. I look forward to the city explaining to us just where we can put things outside of our storefronts. I mean, I have a corner building with bump outs. I've got all sorts of space. But can you give us an impression of just how busy things were in Edgerton? I know I stopped and talked to an antique store in Edgerton the weekend after the festival. They told me their shop was jammed all day long. They had 4 or 5 people working their little shop all day, wiped them out.
It was busy.
Are the sidewalks jammed on Main Street?
We had several food trucks there because that community didn't have a whole lot of restaurants. Sorry, okay. So we had several food trucks because Edgerton didn't have a whole lot of restaurants. Every food truck ran out at least 3 times over the course of the weekend. We were the only ones because we have a small coffee shop, but I had 3 semis. the trailers, I knew we were gonna get hit hard, and nobody
But
would,
we knew it.
nobody would
No one
believe us.
believed us.
Yeah, there, you'll have a captive, again, we were mirroring a festival out east. And we've always mirrored their exact weekend. This will be the first time we're deviating from that. But they've always hosted it in October. And they said that when the weather's perfect in October, which it can be, they get 300,000 people. When the weather is windy, cold, and rainy, they still get 250,000.
Okay, now,
Go ahead.
we're not gonna have 250,000.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's gonna be busy.
Yeah, I mean, we're hoping because of the move this year that we at least get as many as we did last year. But I have to tell you, this is amazing to us. We never had this. In fact, I never had a business show up to any of our meetings in Edgerton, not one. So you guys are to be applauded for your passion and enthusiasm.
Can you tell them how many countries were represented and how many states were represented?
38 states. You get the next one.
Yeah, countries I don't know. I can tell you this, we are having a woman come in from England. Her husband has already booked the flight because now he knows it's Jefferson, who is part of a Facebook fan club. And she can't wait to come here, and she's willing to do whatever we ask her to do because of her British accent. She's like golden. read some Harry Potter chapter and you're fine, you know. So she'll be a hoot. Country-wise, I know we've already had requests from Canada for our wristbands, Mexico, but as far as like, well, I know we had England last year. We did have England because I was surprised when they wanted to know about international airports. It's like, oh, you know, who expects this stuff? You know, you'll have more people than you'll be able to handle. I mean, that's the bottom line.
Yeah, just be prepared.
Right.
Just be prepared. And let me also say, it's February. Sorry. It's February. We've been working on Jefferson 5-6 weeks now, really hard. We still have a lot of bugs to work out, a lot of details. What exactly does the alley look like? Where do vendors exactly go? So we might not have all the answers tonight. So let's maybe get a few more general questions.
Give us the questions and we'll figure it out along with you.
Restrooms, porta potties, bathrooms.
It's a great idea.
American Family Office.
Done.
We can just take the manhole covers off.
No, we're definitely, there'll be a lot of porta potties. We know there will definitely be a lot of porta potties. They have to be. People need to eat, drink, and use a bathroom.
We're putting porta potties by vendor areas. You know, we're not going to put them down Main Street, so.
Unless you want them outside of American Family, it's up to you.
Well, we were there last year. My daughter, son-in-law, and granddaughters came in from Minnesota.
Do you know this lady?
Yes.
Okay, because she was at the festival last year.
We were there last year. It was the first time my daughter, son-in-law, and granddaughters came in from Minnesota. It was wall-to-wall people. I checked my Fitbit, and I had walked well over 10 miles. I don't remember exactly. I asked my daughter, and she goes, Mom, it was way more than 10 miles that we walked that day. And we did get on shows a couple times, too. So it was a lot of people. I'm telling you, be prepared. Make sure you have lots of things, because people were just running out lines. So they had tons of food trucks in a couple different areas, at least 3 that I know of, that we went through. And people were waiting half hour to an hour for food because there were so many people. So be prepared.
Yes. Let me say, the people that were waiting a half hour or longer were at some of these restaurants that didn't believe us. We heard someone come by the coffee shop that we were prepared. We had grab-and-go sandwiches. It wasn't the normal menu. We made special menu for that day. The diner down the street weren't prepared. They waited over 2 hours. Why? I don't know. But waited over 2 hours, still weren't served, then came to us.
be prepared. That's all you can say, is just be prepared. Just be
Yeah, and you may want to rethink how you do business. What we did was we opened up 3 exterior windows as carryout. So we had carryout plus we made it a cafeteria style inside. We eliminated waitress service. We were able to process an awful lot of people, and there was no wait because we knew there was a crowd. Yes.
Mobile food vendor. Are we limited to purchasing one location?
God bless you. No, by no means. And here's what I'm going to say. Again, the crowds are, I don't know what your menu consists of.
There are Chicago hot dogs there.
You will do very, very well.
And we have mobile carts, so we can.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, I mean, I think it's getting enough food to, it's not a matter of one vendor competing with another, it's just providing enough to replace. So the first question is it possible to purchase more than one and spread out across the city? The second would be, do we have access to be restocking during the day? Because we don't like to run out, and we will be restocking if possible.
Yeah, one thing I like about these 2 alleys, well, more dragon than serpent, is the accessibility to the vendors. There's not going to be an issue there. You want to buy 100 spots, by all means. You can go in different areas, not a problem. Jefferson Harry Potter Festival at gmail.com. I will send you the app, or the application.
Say that again?
Jefferson Harry Potter Festival at gmail.com.
Correct.
We had one hot dog guy last year. He
sent his mom back to Chicago. He was a Chicago hot dog. He sent his mom back to Chicago to get more supplies.
and meanwhile, was buying stuff from us as well as Piggly Wiggly. Bought Piggly Wiggly out of hot dogs. Yeah. And that was a hot dog we were selling. They were buying Nathan's from us. We had
What's going to be the rules as far as the vendors, as far as beer, wine, liquor, service, that type of stuff?
Here in Jefferson, we can drink on the streets during festivals.
I'm out. Yeah, you have to follow Jefferson's rules. Harry Potter Festival, we are not going to have any beer, liquor vendors in our vendor areas. Family fun.
We chose, and that's
Just butterbeer, right?
Butterbeer is a non-alcoholic product. And again, it gets into a whole other thing. I have to have a talk with Lee. Nobody can really sell butterbeer without getting their hands slapped by Warner Brothers, because they own butterbeer.
Yeah.
Butterbeer. But butterbeer.
Buttery.
What you want, yeah. There's a company out of New York who we bought product from last year, and they call it Flying Cauldron, because it has nothing to do with. And they service any of the major Harry Potter festivals in this country because that's what they do, which doesn't make Warner Brothers very happy, but people like it. So, okay. Anybody else?
I'm representing the Piggly Wiggly.
Okay.
Can I sell the butterscotch beer to other vendors throughout the area?
You can. I know. Yes, you can. Why not?
Distributor network.
Yeah, just bring the sunlight in. Yeah.
So we're talking about food vendors. Is anything going to be utilizing this parking lot across the street from us right now? Because right now, I saw the map where it's set, everything seems to be down towards that end of town, towards the library, towards the courthouse. What's going to bring them up here to Wadles? I mean, you want to get Wadles with the ice cream and everything else. They're going to want to.
This building is one of the venues.
Yeah.
And what will be in here then?
We're not sure if it's going to be used for handicap parking or exactly what. That, again, one of the details that isn't completely ironed out yet.
What's in this building downstairs is going to be, still working on the names, but Grey Gods Bank and the Lost Town. Couple blocks that way, there's going to be some village shops for Harry Potter.
But this is also a bus stop. have buses stopping here for that reason. The bakery will do well. I want to make sure you guys have plenty as well. Yeah. Okay. Did we get everybody here so far?
Getting off the subject, but what we're looking at as far as the business participation, the advertising, you've got now, the hunt is the last thing, and what my daughter just brought up about vocations. Now, is that the $100 each to get your location as one of the places?
Right. So in order to drive business to your specific business, because some, maybe it's, I don't want to pick a mattress store, maybe you sell mattresses, maybe you sell insurance. Not exactly the Harry Potter kind of thing, right? But you want to drive traffic into your store. And that's really what the Horcrux hunt is, or the 3D piece of the puzzle. I'm sorry, 3D piece of the puzzle, Horcrux hunt. People will have to go to your place of business to get that item. The Horcrux hunt, the business pays $100, everybody else can play for free. For those who aren't familiar with Harry Potter, you're trying to find these various Horcruxes, as that's just part of the storyline. And it's a big, and that was by far the most popular thing with people. They enjoy the Horcrux hunt. This is a no-brainer. I mean, it's an old-fashioned scavenger hunt is what it is. So a business would pay $100. That's to help cover some of the printing costs of the booklet to go to everybody that wants to play the Horcrux. The 3D castle, that's a new one we're adding this year. And that was the idea business would pay $100. People will be paying something. I'm not sure what that will be because we haven't nailed down which castle we want to provide. But it actually is a 3D puzzle of a castle. So they have to go to your place to get the piece of the puzzle, otherwise they don't have a complete castle, if that makes sense. There are some pretty nifty castles out there. Otherwise, there's more opportunity for businesses to go ahead and advertise on the shuttles. Barricade advertising. I didn't even know about this. I didn't think about this until I saw what they did in Amsterdam. I go, holy cow, we're missing out on that. We use barricades a lot. They'll be up and down Main Street, as well as around like Quidditch games and what have you. So there's an opportunity to have a banner with your company name on there. Our website's being revised right now as we speak. What we'd like to see is several things, and then kind of a misrepresentation because it's not enough information there, but to be able to have a link to your business. I'd like to actually have a directory on our website of kind of like Meet Jefferson, Meet the Businesses, with a map, location, a link, maybe a description, maybe a company logo. That's the idea. That's what that is. So people have an idea before they come into town where the heck they want to go. There's one thing we get hit up, God, like 2 months prior. Can we have a map? Can we have a map? Can we have a map? So the more we can get your name out there and what you are offering for that weekend, you're more likely to get more traffic. That being said, be prepared to be able to process a lot of people through your place of business, whatever that means. So if you're not familiar with a Horcrux hunt, or a Horcrux is what they are in Harry Potter, do a little research. It's hugely popular with families because it's family friendly. Anything else? Horcrux hunt. Hey, we're almost here, ready? And that's all we have to add, yes.
Going back to what you were saying about being family friendly, you're not going to be offering any beer or liquor. As a bar owner, are we going to even be allowed to participate in the Horcrux hunt or whatever the heck the thing is?
The bars did very well last year. I know it was standing room only at a couple of bars, not that I saw that personally. Lined out the door, why not get involved? Magical night out. Get your name out there, get someone out in the street, get your windows painted, whatever you can do. Have specials that night.
Yeah, I understand that, but I guess what I'm asking is there going to be limitations from your side to where you don't necessarily want the bars being part of the actual scavenger hunt stop type deal?
Right. Love Warner Brothers. I don't work for them. I've had an occasional beer. And business owners, I want you to make money, but I've got to take on this hand The Harry Potter Festival, we won't be selling beer, liquor, wine. So you get to.
Part of the challenge is because of the attorney. J.K. Rowling, I guess, has a real issue with alcohol and gambling. Because I question, why doesn't Harry Potter have a pinball machine? Because it's in J.K. Rowling's eyes, it's gambling. So you'll never see a pinball machine. So part of our goal is to become the poster children for Warner Brothers. So abroad, she can say, go see what they're doing in Wisconsin. That's what we want you to do. So many rules are being busted, and the last thing they want to do is throw a bunch of lawsuits around and upset a lot of people. But if we stay squeaky clean on our side, which would be kind of nice, Wisconsin being known as the poster children for Harry Potter festivals, we can have a whole lot of fun. You'll do well. I assume you serve food at your bar. You got promote special burgers that day, or ribs, or whatever that. You'll do well. I didn't really talk much about Saturday night. We did a pub crawl last year, and they really want that to not happen. And so we're working on a collaboration right now called a magical night out instead of a pub crawl. Now, that can be almost anything because it's magical. So if you want, help us define what Saturday night can be, which is why I want Maxwell Streets to be out there. But what else can we do to get rid of this pub crawl concept? You're going to do well. There's so many families looking for food and drink. You're going to do well.
Right. And so, yeah, we won't promote your liquor, but we can help promote your establishment, your burger special that day, or whatever. And again, you're gonna do well. A lot of kids come, a lot of adults come. The age group is right for your business.
Before I forget, because I squirrel real easily, we call it squirreling. Nobody wants to run out of anything that you want to sell, but the last thing you want to do is get hung with a lot of stuff too. That's even worse. So, heed my advice, set this up with your suppliers. Will you take back what I don't use? Plain and simple, will you take it back? A lot of cases they will. Now we're in the food business, so there was a lot of stuff they couldn't take back. But the refrigerated stuff, I knew what I could freeze and keep. So it was great. In fact, it was very good. But otherwise, like we have a next door neighbor who sells books. Sells a lot of books, and he sets up with his supply people exactly that. What I don't sell, we take back. So I know it's possible to do. Just set it up. Okay.
So when we buy licensed products and sell them in the store?
Sure. They like that.
Warner Brothers. That's good. Warner
Yeah.
Brothers made their thing, so that's a good
So
question.
you got cups and scarves and.
T-shirts, whatever you want. Yeah, go have at it. Yeah. And you can market it as Harry Potter stuff because that's what it is.
In Jefferson, we have a river going through the town.
Noticed.
And it seems like that always gets forgotten. Is there any consideration of using the river as an asset for the weekend?
We continue to have these conversations with the city, and we're trying to make it work. One of the alleys, which is where the vendors are, goes in that area. The train station's right there, which is nice. So 9 3/4 will be posted on Vinny's building, whether he likes it. Is Vinny here? I heard he was coming in. Oh, there he is. 9 3/4, already have it all ready to hang.
I will promise to study harder. I did watch the first.
So we have the 9 3/4. We'll provide you with a cart and luggage. People will line up to have their picture there. That's an attraction. So we want to play up the river as much as possible. This year, the city and us have agreed, let's just have a good fest this year, and then we can build on it for next year. Gosh, your mayor, he's an incredible guy. You know this guy? He's an incredible guy.
Oh, Dale over here?
Yeah, that guy there, yeah. But I mean,
Question your judgment, Scott.
can I talk about the guys from above and mention them? No. Cool. It's a cool thing. No other Harry Potter festival in the world has utilized skydivers. And how cool would that be to have these, and these guys are excited about skydiving on brooms. I thought that would be pretty amazing. Anxious to talk to the owner for the drive-in movie theater, because that's like a dying thing. That's something we'd love to showcase. Most people never get to experience something like that. Something you have right here in Jefferson. When's the last time you were there?
That does really well.
Yeah? Okay.
That's natural.
Good, good.
But not a lot of us have drive-in theaters, so it's awesome.
Yeah, we take it for granted. Have you thought about a train at all?
Oh. That's
Just come to me right now and take me to the
the Warner Brothers. Scott mentioned the owl. What's worse than the owl is the train. Now, if you have a train, passenger train here, you can utilize it. Don't call it, you know. But yeah.
Don't bring a special train.
Can't do that.
Yes, he said we special.
Choo-choo train. Let's assume.
Oh, you know what they say about that?
But let's assume there's a train that goes by 5 days a week, going in each direction.
Passenger or freight?
No, it's freight, as
Okay.
we know it.
Yeah.
But let's say that
Let's just
since
say.
they're already doing that, they could be coerced into making it look like a passenger train.
Oh, that's the dark side of the grave. We have to talk.
It goes by that building every day.
Yeah, we could talk, because what we tried to do last year, unfortunately, we have the freight line as well. Are you
I'll take that sucker, no problem.
That's something we can talk about later. That's probably not for everyone. We
Didn't
don't.
mean to disrupt the
No, you're good. But let's just say on the last note of the train is there's already railroad tracks here. So we didn't put them here for the festival. Maybe let's see what we can do.
Is there
We don't
any
want to-
play or anything going on with this? Any kind of, that kind of entertainment?
The CPA has an event on Saturday night. It's a painting event. And they will be selling tickets to it. It's gonna be at the Performing Arts Center at the high school. That's Saturday night.
And what is it gonna be?
It's called Artrageous, where they paint music, they paint to
They take
music.
canvases like that big.
Yeah.
As big as a screen.
Then they'll be selling them. It's cool. So.
It's pretty amazing. It's a full orchestra, and these artists are trained specifically per these. The song goes with the subject matter. We bought one in Edgerton that was Sinatra, and the way they're painted, you can't really tell who or what it is until the last bit of paint is on the canvas. So it's kind of neat. And then you get this full orchestra experience. It's kind of neat. So when we heard they were going to bring it, it's like, yeah, they should do well with that.
And that is separate.
That is separate.
Your $10 or whatever does not include that.
That's correct. Yes, that's correct. We'll help promote that because we think it's a worthwhile cause. Oh, however, earlier in the day, there will be other performances at the auditorium
That's what I was asking.
that are included.
That is included with your business.
That would be correct. Yeah.
Both Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. Okay, so, anything to wind up? Otherwise, we kept you way past your bedtime.
Besides the Quidditch games on Sunday, I'm assuming they're running Sunday, correct?
As well, yeah.
What else is there gonna be for any activities, that kind of way, besides the vendors? There's been talk, we've been talking about possibly doing a 5K run, having people dress up, encourage them, kind of like run from the cops, color run, that kind of stuff. I mean, would...
So, great.
You know, last year, what's the house put on a 5K? Outreach put on a 5K run. We encourage that. That would be great. Sunday, yeah, 8 to 4. There's the venues open up. Quidditch games. There's live chess. There'll be performances at the auditorium at the high school. Be a lot of things going on. A 5K run is an awesome idea. We haven't had anyone bring that up yet, so that'd be great.
How can you use the term Quidditch? I'm just going to ask, how can you use the term Quidditch?
Great question. You know why? Because we are a sanctioned site for a Quidditch tournament, and actually it's the U.S. Quidditch Association that authorizes that. And they say, but within a decade, you will see Quidditch part of the Olympics.
Wow.
But now, if you see these guys play, This, last year, we moved the pub crawl from Friday to Saturday so the Quidditch players could do the pub crawl. And none of them participated. They were all in bed by 5:30. They were totally exhausted. Totally exhausted.
And we still sold out on the pub crawl. But that's a no-go this year.
The chamber's gonna organize a magical night out kind of thing. It's gonna involve a pub crawl. It'll involve the businesses and stuff.
A family-friendly version of it?
Yeah.
Anybody else?
I do have a question about the wristbands, because I know that was one of the biggest issues that came up that I heard last year, was how were businesses policing that, and were the participants feeling like they got a good value for their wristbands? How this year are you going to be policing that from event to event, so that, from the customer standpoint, I guess?
Sure, yeah, no, great question. It's one of the things that irritated me the most, I believe. The value for the wristband, it's a different business model this year. Venues are locked down. I call it locked down, it sounds so rude, I guess, but they're gonna be locked down. You won't be able to get on the buses. You won't be able to get into these certain venues without the wristbands. As soon as there was a breakdown in 2 main venues last year, without the policing of the front gate, I knew it was a goner. And so we totally changed the business model. So lowered the price, and we're gonna make sure that the venues are secure.
Last year, my husband and I also went over to Edgerton, and we heard multiple people say, I only bought the wristband because I wanted the scarf that went with it. And I'm not going tonight, but I just wanted the scarf. Is Jefferson doing anything like that? To where you get the wristband with something else with it?
Yeah, that was the pub crawl.
Right.
Yeah.
And they said that they didn't plan to participate necessarily in the pub crawl, but they spent the money anyway just to get the artifact.
Yeah, and people have different ways they want to spend their money. It's an awesome scarf, and it's probably worth $35, so.
Right. So I just didn't know if that was something for Jefferson.
Again, we're still in the infancy stage and developing, fully fleshing out what these events are gonna entail, but I'm sure there'll be.
Well, there was plenty of people for the pub crawl, but I just did not, that was just another way for people to purchase Harry Potter.
We are going, and we're not there yet. We are going to add, we're going to go through this process. It could be 3-4 weeks, we don't know, of pre-sales of $10 for the wristbands. Once we end those sales in downtown Jefferson, we're going to start selling them online, and then continue to sell them in downtown Jefferson. But they'll be, like I said, $25, $15. We may be adding a premium to those wristbands, which might come with something. We're tossing around some ideas. But I don't think that'll be a $25 ticket, but we're tossing it around.
Great question.
Sir, just wanted to, I think, well, we have a lot of businesses in. Fire Chief Wagner probably would talk a lot more than I will, but I am a Harry Potter fan. I did go last year. I would say activities for my kids. If you guys have stuff to kind of keep the kids interested or keep people going, that would probably be just a big piece. I would reiterate that. Ron's very excited about what we have coming in. You guys have been working with Chief Wagner. He just wants to make sure that we're ensuring a safe event. So please reach out to him early. I know he had questions earlier about kind of setting up grills or vending and all that stuff. I don't think that there's anything that's off the table. He's just asking that you partner with him early and often if you have questions about it. And certain things on cooking inside or outside, fuels, fire safeties, making sure if you're hanging a bunch of decorations, if they're not on sprinkler heads and that kind of stuff. So I think he's just wanting to make sure that everybody is kind of following the rules. If we have a very safe event, and monitoring your ratings as far as people and occupancy, so that we don't get ourselves in any kind of trouble. But he'll be here, I think, in a lot of the following meetings. So if you have questions, be able to reach out.
Thank you. Yeah, let's make this safe. Let's make this safe. Thank you. Hey,
Question way over there?
I was just wondering if the wristband's gonna be good for both days.
Yes. Can I add one thing to the safety? It's just a real quick story about the chief of police from Edgerton. His name is Tom. He told me he went to, after the fest, he told me a couple of things. The Monday after the fest, he looked around, it was like there was never a fest. That's how good these fans are, how clean they are. The other thing was he went to a regional seminar or whatever that police get together. And they were like, Tom, so how was the festival? And he was just like, we had 2 lost parents. That was it. There wasn't crime and stuff. It's a ton of people. Keep it safe. It's gonna be fun. It really is gonna be fun. Someone back here again. Sir, go ahead.
Well, we were talking about the railroad tracks down here and they're here. But just like Warner Brothers, I think it's Chicago and Northwestern owns that. The city of Jefferson doesn't own it, none of the businesses own it. And they're gonna get very grumpy if there's plans to use their railroad railway. So that's something to think about.
It's above me, yeah. Well, we're not really, let's just have a festival. I mean, as we move forward, we're gonna add stuff, and we don't use other people's property without talking to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Vince?
I had a question back to the vendor spot thing. How much is a vendor spot? I come from a brewery and we're hoping to maybe bring like root beer and some like butter beer type of drink. And I don't know how big the vendor spot was and how much it costs.
Oh, I didn't mention food vendors it's a different cost. But,
Oh, is it? Okay.
so vending costs, send me an email.
Okay.
Jefferson Harry Potter Festival @gmail.
I'm meeting with Sarah next week.
Who are you with again?
Tyranina Brewery.
We're meeting next week with Sarah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Sir,
Can we bulk buy wristbands?
can you what?
As a business, can we bulk buy wristbands and then include them with a purchase?
Lots of 10,000.
Look at you.
I like the way you think.
Did you bring 10,000 tonight, Scott?
Oh, shit, I can get them. Well, you know what?
Talk to me on the side.
That's a neat idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like the thinking.
Anybody else?
So they're gonna be on sale for $10 just tonight?
We've agreed that there's gonna be 2 spots in the city that we're gonna sell pre-sale. I don't even think they were aware. We finally got all this stuff together. We brought some tonight if you guys wanted to be the first ones to buy them at $10.
Vinny already bought.
Oh, Vinny, hey, thanks. Yes, $10 plus tax, by the way. 5.5%.
Because the government's gotta get there.
Yeah.
Magic wand.
But the chamber will have them for sale, and City Hall's gonna have them for sale, and we'll be getting information out to the Jefferson people.
Well, that's still
In a couple weeks.
Yeah, within a couple of weeks, they're gonna be on sale in those 2 spots. $10.55.
And don't forget 55 pennies.
What else do we have?
Wrap it up. Call it a night.
Remember, we want give us your questions, JeffersonHarryPotterFestival.com, or fill out your card. We want to know what your concerns are. I'm not thick-skinned. I'm not afraid of your questions or your concerns. We'll address them, okay? And let's work together.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, just as a follow-up, again, the chamber's going to be having more meetings regarding this. There are going to be subcommittees, so if you're a nonprofit group, you'll meet and get separate information from a for-profit group, and etc. So there's more information coming, so just stay tuned. And if you didn't sign in so that we can get in touch with you.